Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then my name is Sharmin and I am a web developer. I have been doing web development for the past 2 years and I also teach web development. So yeah, with that said, today in this video we will be looking at a few examples, like different examples for using before and after. If you guys don't know what before and after is, then before and after are pseudo elements that are used to add different things to your page, okay, which don't actually come from your HTML document or HTML structure. It's via CSS that you add your pseudo elements, okay, in the before and after. And if you guys don't know the concept of pseudo elements, then I would recommend watch my video. I've already made a video on before and after pseudo classes and how to use them. In this video I will only be showing you 3 different examples, which are these ones. So when you hover, you see the black color thing that is coming right behind on hover, and you can see the transition effect as well. So the black colored bar on the back is made using the after, okay. And here the second example, this thing also will be making using before and after, and this is the third example where these 2 elements are coming from your before and after, okay. These will be the 3 examples where we will be learning how you can implement before and after. And if you guys don't know what before and after is, I'm not going to explain you the entire thing again in this video. This is just to understand what is the implementation and how you can implement before and after. So I will put the link in the description box below. Just go and check that video out first, what is before and after and how you can use them, and then come back to this video, watch this, and you'll be really good to go with before and after. So yeah, with that said, without wasting time, let's start with these examples. So I have a blank folder open over here, okay. We don't have any files in it, so we will start with index.html over here, and let's have another file called style.css, and in the HTML file we will write our boilerplate code, and let's just connect the style sheet with the HTML file. Alright, now the first thing we will be seeing is this one, okay, this example over here. Now first, whenever you get a design, first try and analyze that what things will you use to make this and how will you make this, okay. So here we have 3 different divs and we can give them a border, okay, of red color and this blue color here, and this bar we will be making it afterwards, alright, because that's called an after. So let's have a main div named container, and inside that we give a main body div, and the other divs inside them will be our item divs, okay, the 3 divs that we will be having. So we have these this structure ready over here. Now to the container, as usual, the things that I give is a width of 1280 pixels, and we say we want a max width of 90%, for example, and margin we will give it of 0 and auto, so that we have it in the center, okay. Now we have the let's open this document in our browser and see how it looks like. So what do you guys think will there be any output? No, you won't be seeing anything on the page, right? So yeah, we need to give our divs height and width to see them on the screen. So this is the container. We go to the main body element over here, and I hope you guys can see the inspect. Let me just zoom it a little bit, okay. So this is the main body. We add the class over here, and to the main body we will give flex. Like, this is not necessary, but just to bring the things in center, I'm giving it a flex. Justify content center, align item center. This is the best way to get any of your element on the page in the center, horizontally as well as vertically, and we give it a height of 100 EH, okay. So we have this element on the page and all these things come in the middle, right. So we copy this and we paste it here, okay. Now let's look at our items. Here we give our item a height of 200 pixels, for example, a width of 200 pixels, and let's give it a background color of black, and we will give it a border radius of 50%, okay. So we get this items over here, right. So we paste it here, and the main body over here, this you can give it as space evenly so that they have that gap by their own. So just copy this and paste it over here. Okay, so you have this. Now let's just inspect this and pick up the colors from here. Okay, so the color of this element here is this blue color. Okay, so this blue color over here, we will give this background color of blue. Alright, and let's give it a border of 10 pixels solid, and let's pick up the border color as well from here. So we just pick this color up and we give it to this, and here we have our 3 elements ready. Alright, so this was just the basic elements. Now the thing that was coming behind it on hover. Okay, so we will see how to make that now with the help of after pseudo element. Okay, so you select this element, this is your div, right? Now we will give this div a position of relative. Okay, because we are going to call an after pseudo element on our item div. Okay, on the div which has a class name of item. So we say item and we say after here, and the content, which is very important, without which you won't be able to see that element on the page anywhere. Okay, so content, then we give it a height of, for example, 300 pixels, width of again 300 pixels, and background color of black. You still can't see it, right? Because it needs a position of absolute. You can see that right now. Okay, we got these things. We are getting it on all the 3 items. Why? Because we have the same class getting applied to all the 3 divs. So that is the reason you get it on all the 3 divs. Alright, so this is your position absolute. I think we can reduce the width a little bit. Okay, this much is enough, 180 pixels. Then we can give it a right of 0, a top of 0. Okay, and let's just pull it a little bit outside, and let's take it to a bit top. Let's just close it. Okay, this looks good, fine. Okay, very much similar to our design, and let's give it a z index of -1 so that it goes behind your element. Alright, so we will copy all these styles from here, from the inspect itself, and paste it in our style sheet just after the item, and we gave our item a position of a relative. Alright, so yeah, here we have this ready. Okay, but now right now this is not the effect that we are getting, right? This is what we want to achieve. So now we don't want this to be visible when the page loads. Okay, so for that what we can do is, there are many things, right? We can do display none, or we can give it an opacity of 0, or maybe you can give it a visibility of hidden. But here, as we want this effect, we will play with the height of the element. Okay, the height of the pseudo element. So this is the height, right? So we go to our pseudo element after, we give it a height of 0. Okay, 0 pixels. We start with a height of 0 pixels over here. You don't need to write pixels. If the value is 0, it understands by itself. So here is the, not the height of the element. Okay, the height of the pseudo element will be 0. Alright, so we give it a height of 0 here. Now what we want is, when you hover on this item, you want the height of your after to become 300 pixels, for example. So what you will say is item after, but on the hover of the item. Okay, so on the hover of your item, you want the after element to have a height of 300 pixels. Okay, you just write this code, and when you hover, you see you get the element, right? But now you might say that you don't have this effect over here, right? Even though you are playing with the height. So for that, what we will do is, we will add some transition. Okay, so first let's add this code, so we get this effect working over here, right? Now to get that transition effect from top to bottom, like the height is growing from top to bottom, so for that we can give it a transition, for example a transition of 0.3 seconds. And now when you hover, can you see? Nothing less, nothing more, very simple over here. You just need to give it a transition value, okay, of 0.3 seconds. So just copy this value over here from here and we paste it in the after. Now you might notice one thing, that when you click, when you hover over it, it comes smoothly, right? But when you move out, like when you move your mouse cursor outside, it just disappears suddenly, right? That doesn't look good. You want it to go back smoothly as in this one, right? It's going back smoothly again. So I want you guys to think that what will you do to make it go back smooth. Just pause the video, go try it out. I'll give you a hint over here. You have to play with the transition 0.3 seconds and you will be good to go, okay? So yeah, pause the video, go try it out and then come back and see the solution. Okay, so here what you will do is you are adding it, okay, just a second. Okay, we have it added over here when you are hovering it, right? You have the transition when you are hovering, but when you are taking out, you don't have any transition. Here we don't have any property where it says that we are taking out the mouse, but it's like a general common sense that when the mouse is not over it, that is the condition where the mouse is not on it, right? So for that will be your item after. So to that pseudo element, you will give it a transition of 0.3 seconds. You save and you refresh and you see it works fine, right? So it is as simple as this. This is how you can use after elements, okay, to give these kind of small transitions to your elements. Okay, so this was the first example that we saw. Okay, this just has a bigger border of 20 pixels. So just make this of 20 pixels and we'll have the same thing that we have over there, right? Exactly the same thing. It was simple, very simple. Okay, so just a bit of practice and you'll be good to go. Alright, now let's look at the second example, which is this one, okay, the read more button. You might have seen many websites have a button hover effect which looks like this, and you might be wondering how it is done. It is very easy. We again use the before pseudo element over here to make that, or to do. Let's do this in the same file. We will comment this code. Just let's copy this code and okay, let's comment this one and let's move down here. We paste this. We don't need this. Sorry, we need the main body, but we don't need these divs. We need an href, right? A. So this says read more and we refresh. Okay, we have this read more button. To make it more visible, let's increase the, okay, we don't need these things also, so let's just comment them for now and move it down. And the A element, sorry, the anchor tag, let's give it a font size of maybe 40 pixels and text decoration none, and let's give it a color of black because by default it's blue in color. Okay, so visible now. Okay, you guys can see it now. Okay, so now to give that effect, what we will do, let's open the inspect and here just hover over this, select this element and we will give it some padding of, okay, let's not give it a padding. First let's give it a border of 1 pixel solid and let's give this a padding of, for example, 20 pixels and 40 pixels. Alright, so this is the padding. Just copy this and don't again write the A element, just paste it inside over here because we already have it made. Now it's the same thing, like pretty much same as we did for this example here. If you guys want practice, then I suggest pause the video, go try it out by yourself, and if still you cannot find solution, come back and we will do it together. Let me give you a hint before you pause the video, is you will have to call an after or before element, pseudo element on your anchor tag, okay, and you will have to play a bit with the z index of your text over here, okay, the read more text which you are seeing. You might not see that if you achieve this. If you don't play properly with the z index, you might not see the read more text, okay, it goes behind the before element. So yeah, these were the 2 hints. Go pause the video, try it out by yourself, and still if you are not able to do, come back, we will do it together, okay. So yeah, what we will do is let's just give this a position of relative, and now we will call our let's call a before on this. So what we will add here, content, right, a position of absolute. Let's add a background color of black. Let's give it a height of 100% and a width of 100%. Okay, this is going outside because we haven't given this position of relative here. So let's give it a position of relative. Okay, you see that it's the same size of the element, and we give it a top of 0 and a left of 0, so that it perfectly fits the button there, right? So let's just copy this before element and we will paste it in here, and we refresh, right? The before element is here. Now we don't want it to already be there when we load, we want its width. There we played with the height, right? We give it a height of 0, but here we will give it a width of 0 at the start, and we say that when you hover on this element, I want the before pseudo element to have a width of 100%, okay. So this is how you do it. So you click, you get the width to be 100%, right? Here in the example we see it comes from left to right, correct? Here it's playing with the width of the element. So think of it from this example, how we did it, what we added here. So think about it, add it, and you'll be good to go. And that was just transition, okay. So 0.2, 0.4 seconds, for example. You get this working great, right? But again, when you move it out, it disappears, right? So what you will do is you will give this transition also to the before element, even when it's not at its hover, right? So the transition goes there, and this after effect, the hover before goes down there, and we refresh. Okay, here we forgot to do this 0, not the height, the width of the element. Okay, so we refresh now and we click. Okay, works perfect. But one more thing, you can't see the text, right? The read more text. You might think because it's a black color. So okay, let's try this thing. On the hover of A, we want its color to change to white. Okay, we change the color to white. Now we are hovering. Can you see anything that's working? No, still not, right? So just copy this and we will see how we can make that visible. Alright, we refresh. And can you see the border also disappears? We can give this before a z index of -1, and here you go, right? Works perfect. The border is still missing, so let's figure that out. So this here. Okay, so let's give the border to this element here on the hover of A, and here we go, right? It works perfect, same as this one, right? Only the font differs, so that's just okay. The rest works perfectly fine, right? So this is how you use your before element to add such kind of effects to your button hover. Okay, so these are the two examples that we just saw. Now let's look at this third example. Looks interesting, right? This is something that I love. Okay, so let's go start with the third example. Okay, we will need a full image for that, so let's just download that first. Sorry guys for wasting your time. I should have downloaded this previously, but that's okay. So yeah, let's download this video. Till then, let's just comment this, and okay, we got this image here. We just save image as FO, and let's just drag it in our project over here. Alright, we have the image here, we have the style sheet, and we have the index. So let's just comment this for now, we don't need it, right? So now analyzing the design, can you try to make this by yourself without looking at the video? Just try to do it by yourself. Let me give you a few hints. Here you can use an H3, call the image in the background of your div, and inside of that you can have an H3 and a span, and the span can have a before and an after. The before you can call the red circle there, and in the after you can call the green circle, and you can do it accordingly. Alright, so these are the few hints that I gave you, and do not forget the use of transition. So yeah, try and come back if you're not able to do it. We will do it together. Okay, let me just save this. Okay, so we have this empty element over here, empty document over here. So we start with a div, and we give this a class of item again, and inside of that we have an H3. What does that say? Good food, good mood. Yes, very true, right? So good food, good mood. Let's give it a BR to just break line and bring this back up. Okay, and let's have an empty span. Alright, we refresh. You just see this good food, good mood, because we have to call the image in the background, this foo image, right? So yeah. Okay, so let's use the inspect to do that, or maybe we can go into the style sheet and we can use the item div over here, and we can say background image, you say URL and / foo.jpg, and when you refresh here the image should appear, hopefully. Okay, good. We see the image here, but it looks so small. No worries, we can give it some height of, for example, 300 pixels and a width of 600 pixels. Something wrong. Looks good, right? Then we have the background, a few background properties, that is background size, cover, then background repeat, no repeat. I will make a dedicated video on these background properties that we have. We can use them in different ways, and they are amazing properties. Okay, so we just replace this item over here with it. Alright, so this is the background image we called. The first step is done. Now this H3 over here, so let's just have this class and an H3. And what we will say, we need it to be of font size 30 pixels, for example, maybe 40-50. Give it a color of white. Okay, and let's give it some margin. We start with 0, 0, 0, 0. We will give it 4 values. So from the top you want it, for example, over here, and from the right, from the left you want it to be 20-30 pixels in. Alright, and let's just increase the size to maybe 60 pixels and just reduce the line height to 50 pixels. Looks good, right? I know it's not visible right now, but when we give the item an overlay, there again we will use before and after. Okay, so this is a good complex example to understand before and after really well. Okay, so 2 times we'll be using before and after here. Now on the item, we give the item a position of relative first over here, because we are going to use an after on it or a before, whatever you wish to use. You can use any of them. So before over here, and we say the content empty. We want a background color of black. Alright, and we want it to be from top 0, bottom 0, left 0 and right 0, and position absolute. You get that? What is it doing? It's covering the entire page. We don't want that to happen, right? Because we haven't given this a position of relative. That's the reason that is happening. So once we give this relative, you see it's covering that div only, right? So if you don't want your overlay to move up and there, just give it a value of top 0, bottom 0, right 0, left 0, so it will be properly aligned with your element, and it won't go up and down. Okay, so for that you give it those 4 values of 0. Okay, so where did our before disappear? Okay, here it is. We copy this and let's add this below this here. We refresh. Okay, but that's not black in the design. So guess what we can do here? Any guesses? Put them down in the comments. I will read them later. So yeah, here you can, if you guessed it, then it was opacity 0.7 for example. Okay, this looks fine. So you give it an opacity to the before element over here. So you give it an opacity of 0.7, and now you might say that that's not visible, right? It's going behind it. So think what you can do. You might say Z index, correct, Z index of 2 still didn't come up. Why? Think of it. Why didn't that element still come up even if it has a Z index of 2? Think. I need answers in the comments below. Okay, so if you guys are wondering why that is happening, then the reason here is because it is position static. If you remember, Z index does not work on position static. Now why am I saying position static? Because by default your elements are position static, right? So we need to change this position to relative. Okay, you can give it an absolute as well, but that's not right because you don't want the element to move out of the page, right? You just want to change its position and you want it to remain in the same place as it is. So you will use position relative over here. Alright, so we add these two lines of code to our H3 over here. Alright, and we refresh. Okay, so this part is ready. Simple. Now the tricky part is over here. This was an easy use of before over here. Okay, so in this video you learned how to add an overlay, okay, using before or after. It is as simple as this, a few values and you are good to go. Okay, so now the tricky part is the span has a before and the after, and on the hover it will move in and out of the element. So try it out, guys. This is a very good example to understand or to test how well have you understood the before, after and the animation working and the transition working. Okay, so hopefully you guys are trying before watching the video. So you give the span a position of relative. As always you do, any element that you're giving before and after, you give it a position of relative, because on the before and after you call the position of absolute, and you want that element to just move with respect to your main element. Okay, the pseudo elements should move with respect to your main elements, the main element on which you're calling it, right? So make sure you give it a position of relative so it won't move, so the pseudo elements won't move here and there on your page. Okay, they will be properly aligned with respect to your proper main element. Alright, so guys, to the span now we will give it a before. Okay, content empty, we give it a background color of black for example. Okay, let me just pull this up so you guys can see, and we give this a height of, for example, 90 pixels, a width of 90 pixels, and a position of absolute. Can you see this box over here? Okay, let me make it red so that it is more visible now. Okay, this element here, pseudo element, and okay, it disappears. No problem, we have it here. So this over here, and we give it a border radius of 50%, right? We have that before over there. We want to give it a top of 0, or maybe we can give it a bottom of 0 so that it is aligned from 0 from the bottom. Okay, so that it comes along with the line. Now why is this happening is the span element is an inline element, right? It's not a block element, so it is properly aligning itself with this the bottom over here. This is your span bottom, so a bottom 0 brings it up. Okay, and here you give it a left of 0 and just pull it in minus so that it goes outside your div, right? Now we will just copy this, paste it over here. So this was your before. Okay, the same thing we want in our after. The only difference is the color is different and the value of left is a bit different. So let's just change the color from here itself, and maybe some green good color here. And the left, maybe you can give this a left of minus 90 pixels, and you refresh. Okay, so here is your what mistake did we make? Okay, we didn't change the before to an after over here, so it overwrote. So here after, and you refresh, and perfect. Okay, you get both the elements ready over there, right? So this is minus 90, so let's just pull that before a bit more to the left, and okay, looks good. So this is your left. All right, now comes the main part, that is how will you think of doing this. When you hover, you want it to come inside, right? So think about it, how would you do it, and mention down in the comments what are you thinking, what are the properties that you will use over here. Okay, so all right, now we will see how we can do that. There are many ways of doing it. The one way that we can find is, instead of giving okay, let's not do that. Let's give our span a left of minus 100 pixels. You see it's going behind, so we can just change this values more close to the div. Okay, so maybe 30 pixels, minus 30, and this maybe 0 pixels. Okay, so this fits in here. Actually, if you don't give your span a minus and you give these elements, then you'll have to play with the lefts of both the elements. Okay, so that will become more of code. You will understand that when we do this. So I just reduced the values from here and I added it to the span. Okay, so don't forget we have changed the before here, and this was 0, and the span over here we gave it a left of minus 100 pixels. Okay, so this is done. Now the next thing we need to see, just refresh, works fine. Now what you want is, when you hover on this item, you want this to move inside, right? So we can say that on the hover of my item, I want the span to be left, okay, to be left 0. When you hover, can you see it's coming inside, right? It's coming inside. So you can also give it a left value of, for example, 70 pixels, so it will come this inside. And for the transition effect, okay, I just said it, so for the effect that was smooth, you need to use the transition property as usual. So 0.3, so when you hover, can you see how it's coming inside? It's jumping back again, so we can give our span the transition of 0.3. So here we paste it over here, and this transition add it to your span, so that it is smooth also when we remove our mouse from there. So works perfectly fine. Okay, but doesn't look like this, right? The H3 over here is also moving, correct? So now to do that, think of it, and also this element is not visible, right? It is there on the page, but it is not visible. So how will you do that? Think about it and try it yourself. So with the H3, we would do the same thing. We want on the hover of our item, when we hover on the item, we want the H3 to move 100 pixels from the left. Okay, good. I think we need to move it more, 130 pixels, and a transition of 0.3 seconds. Make sure you give the same transition that you give to these elements, or else it will jump. Okay, so same transition 0.3 seconds, so the H3 also has to be 0.3 seconds, and the same transition we add to the H3 so that it does not jump when we move out. Okay, when we move our mouse out. So we refresh over here, and something still not working good, so we refresh again. Okay, it is still jumping, right? So what we need to see is, why is that happening? Now that is happening because you have just given it a value of left 130 pixels, okay, to the H3. It does not have a initial value. Okay, that is what I mean to say here. H3, it has a position of relative, but it does not have any left value, right? But here we have a left of 130 pixels. That's the reason it is jumping. It needs to know where to start from, okay, for that smooth effect to happen. So here we will, even though it does not affect the element, we need to give it a left of 0 to get that smooth effect. Perfect. Now to hide this element, what you can do is, you can give this main div, that is your item, a overflow of hidden, and here you are ready with, so So the item over here, where is your item element? Here it is. So you will give this a overflow of hidden, and you refresh, and here you go. Perfect, right? So yeah, these were the 3 examples of before and after. I hope this helped you guys. These were like the first one was an easy one, second one was a bit tricky with the Z index. It was not tricky though, it was just playing with the Z index and understanding positions properly, and the third one was a bit tricky. So if you practice, you will definitely understand. It is nothing difficult. So magic, right? You can do anything that you want with the before and after elements. They are very useful, and if I get a few more examples, I will come up with those. And yeah, I will put the code of all these 3 in my CodePen, and I will link it down in the description box below, so you can go and check it out over there and practice and play around with it. So yeah, that's it for today. I know this video has got a bit long, but I hope you guys got something out of this video, and if you guys did, do not forget to press that like button and also subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming up with such interesting videos. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and bye guys.